It's 5 and 5 time once again. Today we're breaking down the secrets of how life actually runs, from enzymes to photosynthesis to cellular respiration. Let's jump right into this AP Biology review, shall we? 5 minutes starts now. First up, enzymes, the workers, the builders, the speed boosters of every living cell. Enzymes are proteins that act as biological catalysts, speeding up reactions by lowering the activation energy. The catch? They only work if the substrate fits perfectly into their active site, like a key in a lock. You mess with that shape, you mess with their job. Changes in temperature, pH, or chemical environment cause these enzymes to denature, where the enzyme loses its shape and stops working. Sometimes it's reversible, but generally it's not. Also, warmer temps means faster reactions until you pass the optimal point, and then they denature. Next, regulation. Competitive and non-competitive inhibitors control enzyme action by either blocking the active site or changing the enzyme's ability to catalyze. In short, enzymes are the molecular MVP, so treat them right. Next up, photosynthesis, the special reaction that brings us oxygen, glucose, and life as we know it. Photosynthesis uses CO2, water, and sunlight to make carbohydrates and oxygen. It started with prokaryotes, specifically cyanobacteria, which literally changed Earth's atmosphere. In eukaryotes, photosynthesis happens inside the chloroplast, specifically in the thylakoid, where the light reaction happens, and the stroma, where the Calvin cycle builds carbs. The light reaction uses photosystems to capture solar energy, to excite electrons, split water, build a proton gradient, and make a tiny bit of ATP and NADPH. These molecules then power the Calvin cycle, which takes in CO2 to build stable glucose carbohydrates. Every green leaf is basically a tiny, perfectly engineered solar-powered energy factory. Pretty amazing if you ask me. Now let's flip the script. Instead of capturing energy, how do cells use energy? Enter cellular respiration, a series of enzyme-driven steps that break down glucose to produce ATP, the energy currency of life. Here are the 4-step journey. First, glycolysis breaks glucose into pyruvate, producing ATP and NADH. This happens outside the mitochondria and is anaerobic, so no oxygen is needed. Second is the Krebs cycle. In the mitochondrial matrix, it releases CO2 and loads up NADH and FADH2 with electrons. Third, the electron transport chain, or ETC. Electrons move through membrane proteins, building a massive proton gradient. Fourth, ATP synthesis via ATP synthase. Protons flow back through this enzyme to make tons of ATP in a process called oxidative phosphorylation. In this process, oxygen functions as the final electron acceptor, unless you're fermenting, in which case cells make lactic acid or alcohol just to keep glycolysis going. Respiration is so efficient that the only time it doesn't make ATP is when oxidative phosphorylation is decoupled. Because decoupling oxidative phosphorylation generates heat, some organisms use that process to regulate their body temperature. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Life runs on ordered sequential energy pathways. In fact, life follows the laws of thermodynamics. To maintain order, energy input must exceed energy loss. Lose too much order or energy, the system collapses. That's why metabolic pathways like glycolysis, the ETC, and photosynthesis are sequential, controlling energy flow one step at a time. And here's something cool. Key metabolic pathways are conserved across every domain of life: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. The way your cells make ATP is remarkably similar to bacteria that existed billions of years ago. Life is diverse, but the blueprint for energy transformation is universal. And that's a wrap. There's plenty more you'll need to know about AP Bio to get a 5 on your AP exam. Get UWorld's comprehensive review course with expert written questions and engaging video lessons to capture essential info like chloroplasts capturing sunlight. Visit collegeprep.uworld.com/AP for 30, 90, 180, and 360-day subscriptions.